You asked the questions.
Hey, look, man. It's cool, man. I'm Yafeuh Balogun, man. Street reporter, man. You know, one brother I do know that's always in the streets, always in the community is Marcus the Great. I call him Marcus the Great. He say Marcus X, and folks gave him the name Marcus X. The community gave his name Marcus X, but to me, he Marcus the Great, the founder of CIVN commissary is very necessary. How you doing today, brother?
I'm well. I got a lot of gratitude, brother. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Uh, Glad you invited me to do a discussion. I got a lot of love and respect for you, brother. I appreciate you putting me on.
Hey, look. We're gonna take it from the top, man. So take it really from the top. You from Polk Terrace. I'm from Polk.
Well,
But go ahead.
right.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I ain't just I'm from all the little neighborhoods by Carter. I grew up in a lot of different neighborhoods. So, yep. I can
Okay.
rip up
Okay.
Terrace. I grew up over there. My auntie stayed over there. Got a lot of partners over there. I did a lot of hustling over there. So, yep.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I say that to say because we all talk to many different people in this walk that we take. You know what I'm saying? What some
Right.
folks call the movement, but it's not many folks that I've talked to, come in contact with, that actually is from the same neighborhood that I grew up in. That's in this
Right.
same movement. You know what I'm saying? Most cats I
Right.
grew up in, they done been to the penitentiary, done been to the feds,
Right.
dead, or you know, trying to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of way.
Right.
You came from the neighborhood. What was it like growing up? Tell me what it was like growing up for you.
Well, uh, my granny stayed on Woodspan since long as I can remember. Probably since the '70s. So my farthest back remembrance of that neighborhood is, walking around Woodspan. A lot of people call it Woodtown. Uh, just following my big sisters around, and as I got older, uh, we moved into that. My dad moved into that neighborhood, into Leanne Apartments, I guess in the '80s. And,
Hmm.
I stayed with him, and so and my auntie stayed in the back of Wheeling Terrace. My aunt Linda, my cousin Mark, my other cousin Don Trey, and I used to hang out with my partners throwing throw up football in the back of Wheeling. Uh, but it was just a little kid like staying over there. Just things little kids go through. And I think like like I guess when it got to the '90s, it got a little bad. Probably like around 91, 92 or something like that. It started going down. I guess that was the crack epidemic. Uh, a lot of violence. It had got really violent in Leanne and Wheeling Terrace. Shootouts every night, murders all the time. And so, in the '90s, it got a little intimidating around there, uh, in that area. It
Right.
was, a lot of brothers, just basically trying to cut their niche out of life. And, it was a time, when I guess it was kind of cool to, be out here thugging and killing dudes and stuff like that. So, those 90, 92 and that era was kind of rough. And I say it calmed down a little bit, after the crack epidemic and, I guess, back then people were scared of Jamaicans and stuff like that because, they was running the neighborhood too. And so, a little bit after that, it got a little better, and I just, graduated from Carter High School and I went off to college. Then I came back and I was in the streets a little bit, you know, just hustling with everybody else, from the neighborhood, getting money. And,
Getting money.
yeah, it was a lot of that, just hustling and getting money. Dudes was having, spots and whatever you want to call it, traps and different things. And, it's that's a large story. That's a big story. So but just a little bit of it, and I was in the streets a little bit.
So, like, okay, you was in the streets. You went to Carter. You went to now. You went. Did you go to Hudson Atwell?
I didn't go to Hudson Adwell. I actually went to Eastern DeSoto
Ah, okay,
in
okay.
the
You always
seventh and eighth grade in junior high, which
got
kind of helped me a little bit. I feel like, not saying that Hudson, because I didn't go to either one of them. I went to Adel Turner,
you. Right.
uh, but I didn't go to Adwell, and so I kind of felt like at the time, when I think about it, the education was a little bit better at that junior high, because I know when I came back from DeSoto back to Oak Cliff, I was a little ahead of the students.
Right.
Maybe a couple of years ahead of the students.
Just based out going to DeSoto.
Yep. When I came back, I was at a higher reading level, math level. The things that was impressing teachers, I was just like, I was like a C student in DeSoto. I
Gotcha.
was a A student when I came back to Oak Cliff. So, it was
Right.
just, it was really kind of like a blessing for me. I wasn't struggling no more.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
could knock out that work.
So you graduate high school and you go to college. What college did you go to?
Man, I went to Prairie View, A&M University. I remember I was in Upper Bound in high school, which is like a college prep program for high school kids. And we traveled the state of Texas one time. We drove through Prairie View. Man, it was probably like 92, 93, or 94 or something. And it was just like little hills and dirt roads. And I remember saying, man, what school is this? I am not going to this school. That ended up being the school I went to.
Peer review.
Right, right. So I ended up going to Prairie View. I my
Did you
freshman
pledge?
year,
Did you pledge?
man, I pledged illegally underground my freshman year when I was 18. I pledged
Yeah.
a non-Greek organization called Wisconsin Sleeper, and the Wisconsin Sleeper was actually one of the livest organizations on the yard at the time. They was just really, I guess, it was. I don't. They not on the yard no more, but like the year I played, it probably was like maybe 100 people on the yard that was sleeping. So it was a lot of sleepers at that time. Like I said, I played illegally underground. I was young. I think I pledged maybe my first semester in college. So
Right.
that was crazy. A lot of people don't pledge till they like juniors. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? That's when you supposed to. So I was glad I did that. That was like an experience like any brother that's, going through a fraternity, masonry or whatever, you know, uh, crossing them what they call it, the burning sands and all that. So, it was a little experience that I went through and I survived and I went over. And I got a lot of love for the Wisconsin Sleepers. Wisconsin Sleepers actually, taught me a lot, supported me a lot. So I appreciate, all the members of that organization. But that was like, my freshman year. I was there for like 4 years. I didn't graduate from Prairie View, but I had got a lot of knowledge from Prairie View. I remember my Obawale, Obadeli. I'm
Tell,
that's mean to say
tell,
Obadeli.
tell the people who Obadeli is.
Uh, Obadeli is the founder of In Cobra, uh,
And also the
which is
Republic of New Africa as well.
yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, and you got to go way back to a little bit back to the Republic of New Africa because that was a little bit before they was still doing the in Cobra and taking members in when I was going to Prairie View. I think he took in Cobra to the Million Man March or something like that. I believe
Right.
when I was what year was the Million Man March?
95.
Okay, so that was like the year before I went to Prairie View. But I remember the story of them going to the Million Man March, and I took his class, and I think he was the first teacher to open my eyes to different perspectives and different concepts uh, within life and the government, also within the Bible. A lot of the things he was saying in class was shocking. Uh, when you're talking to somebody that was raised in church, a Christian church, mom was a minister. I always take me to church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so, he was saying some unbelievable things about Moses and different things. And he had some great stories about, robbing banks and, and things they had to do to fund the movement. Um, and he was a great man, and he was all about the brothers and brothers working together and not hurting each other and really understanding the government and understanding the power. I wish I still had his textbook. It's probably worth some money, but R.I.P. He was a great brother. I think he sparked a lot of interest in being a revolutionary in me for the first time. Besides my father.
Right, right on. Let me see here. I'm trying to do this here. Hold on 1 second.
Nah, you okay? And so I was an industrial engineering tech at Prairie View, also an architect. Uh, and then my minor with arts. Yeah, there go Doc. Doc, I remember when Doc stopped us from jumping a brother in his class one day. He was like, "Bro, you gonna hurt the brother?" I was like, "Yeah, my cousin." And I was like, Doc, you right, you right. And we walked out. He would say stuff like that. And I think I had to take his class twice. I think he might have failed me the first time. Like for real, I was like, "Dang, Doc." Me and my partner who was doing life without a chance of parole, who I was working on trying to get out, he ended up getting out. Me and him had that class together. So when I used to talk to him while he was in the feds doing life, and we used to talk about that class and the jewels he was dropping on us way back then in the '90s, and we wasn't really soaking it in and understanding. But we was dealing with a legend. We knew it, but we didn't know it.
Right, right, right. Powerful, powerful, powerful. So you
Right.
you you go through college. You meet Doctor Obadeli. Obviously, other than your father, it sounds like he had a pretty good impact on your life. Pretty big impact on your life, especially your development of consciousness. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Uh,
Right. Right.
you come back to the city soon after college. What happens next?
Uh, man, I come back to the city. Uh, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I wasn't going back to Prairie View as far as going back to school, but I knew I wanted to go back to school. Um, I really I really jumped back into the streets and I started hustling. I don't know how far you want to go into that, but you know, I,
Whatever you comfortable with. Whatever you comfortable with.
right? I started hustling like a lot of young black men are kind of programmed to do, uh, and I kind of fit in that lane because I kind of came from that lane. As a young man, uh, watching older men in my life hustling and doing this and that, and a lot of the hustlers like me. A lot of the hustlers would come pick me up and let me ride with them as a young dude. So me coming back, I already knew a lot of the dudes that was the hustlers because I used to be the young brother with them, and I kind of developed my own lane. Um, you know, uh, like me, I didn't want to sell hard drugs. Not saying I didn't, but I really didn't. I wanted to really like sell weed and like that. And I got more involved in selling weed, and that became something big for me, and that's what sustained me for a long time.
Right. Interesting. Interesting. Interesting.
Right.
So you come back and you do that. So what did the turnaround come, or when did you kind of start the transition to the person that you is now?
Uh, I'm gonna say that I was never like a bad person.
Right.
Even when I was hustling, I wasn't a bad person. I was just really the good person out here in this part of the game or whatever. Coming up, taking losses, whatever. Uh, Being very innovative. Uh, when I was in the streets, they called me Gan Man because I had a certain strand of weed called Afghan, and so they named me after it. And I kind of became legendary because of that. Because back then, really, didn't too many people have endo and dro. Most people were smoking Reggie back then, and
Right.
I came to the table with something different, but for everybody, not just for like the rich dudes. You know what I'm saying? They was getting it and smoking it for themselves. Some dudes had it, and they could, but I made it where I feel like an opportunity for everybody, to be able to get it. Now, it was an opportunity out there, but like a lot of man, wasn't nobody really plugged in. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of a plug. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I plugged a lot of people in, basically that wasn't plugged in, and gave them an understanding what the market was, and all kind of things. Because I had, I knew a grower back in the day, and so when I linked up with the grower, he was hooking me up, and so I didn't have to get it from Mexico or nothing like that. I was getting it right in the city of Dallas back in the day, and so that what made it cool for me, and that's what really got me involved in agriculture and wanting to understand how plants and how they grow.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So you know for organizing in the city. You got an organization. You founded an organization called Commissary is Very Necessary. Tell
Right.
us a little bit about that. I'm a member of that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, commissary is very necessary. It's really like a vision. I was in loose derrick. I was, kind of still in the streets. I forgot. I probably had a weed case or something, and I just seen that brothers was short on. People didn't have really much to eat up in there, and they were short on commissary. And I remember a rapper named Pimp C. He's screaming out commissary is very necessary. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that. And I said, when I get out, I'm gonna start me a non because I always wanted to start a nonprofit. And I said, when I get out, I'm gonna start a nonprofit called Commissary is Very Necessary. And, it could be in honor of Chad Butler. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Was one of my favorite artists growing up. And so I got
Right.
out and I think I did the articles in corporation, but I never did nothing with it. It was like in 2009. Never
Okay.
did nothing with it. I got back in the streets, when I was in the streets, working, school. I was all that, kind of that type of dude to be working and in the streets and in school at the same time. Uh, and in 2019, it was like 10 years later. 2019, really like in, I say in 2016, a friend of mine, uh, who was getting green from me, right? She come to my spot getting green. She was just like, man, there's some brothers out there just like you. Cause I would be in my spot, people coming through, and I'd be kind of mentoring it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
Spitting knowledge and stuff. I was kind of different like that. I always been like that, and
Right.
I was known for that. And, and that's kind of and that kept me safe in the way in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Cause it wasn't many brothers like me in the streets that was spit knowledge. You mean I was really concerned about, you know what I'm saying, you and your spirit and you know what I'm saying, your life. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just about that. You know what I'm saying? And so she said, man, there's some brothers like you. I said, man, ain't no brothers like me. She said, no, there's some brothers like you. I said, man, they might think like me. I said, but they ain't in the streets like me and thinking like me. And it was like what I'm doing, ain't nobody like me. And she was like, no, well, there's some brothers, you know what I'm saying, on your vibration. I was like, all right, all right, all right. And then she was like, man, just come to the Pinks. it was 2016. I was like, come to the Pinks. So when she said come to the Pinks, that made me a little bit more interested because I don't, I used to, hustle with the hustlers in Highland Hills. You know what I'm saying? I done been in the back of the Pinks for all the wrong reasons, and
Right.
so I said, all right, I got there and seen a bunch of brothers. That's why I first met Brother Shout, Robert Taylor, you, Low Key, Ricky Perry. Uh, and the reason I can remember that all this is because I seen the video. You know what I'm saying? If I wouldn't have seen the video, I probably wouldn't have known what year they was and who I met that day. Because then I seen some pictures with Ricky Perry and stuff. I said, okay. And so I met, and I think Rakim was out there too. So in 2016, I met all y'all brothers that day. I don't know what day that. What was that? What was that going on that day in the
What what
Pinks?
what up, Unc? Think that's what
It
up, Unc.
was
I think that's what up, Unc. That's the only thing that come to mind to me. I could be
because
wrong.
your old boy, what's his name? Kamal.
He was there.
Yeah, he was there. I remember him being there. I remember Brother Shaw coming to me and asked me, was I a rapper? I think the only reason he asked me that because I had a bunch of jewelry on. And I was just like, nah, I ain't no rapper. I'm just, here seeing what's going on. Now, I remember something going on. I just don't remember no video shoot.
Maybe you just came to a random day we was up there because we used to go up there all the time though. We used to be
Right. And
twice.
I remember a helicopter was flying over the apartments. And
Right,
I took a picture. And when I took the picture and I zoomed in, it was a man with a rifle pointed at us, looking down looking at us through the rifle lens.
right.
I was like, dang, like who is these brothers? They got helicopters flying with the rifles out looking at them. So I'm like, man, hold up. These boys gonna have me hot. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Shoot, I don't know. And so I don't know if it might have been that day or another time. Well, I think I met with y'all twice, or maybe that time because y'all was like, we finna do a march. And I was like, all right. And so we went to the corner of Ledbetter and Lancaster.
Right.
And
It was at nighttime, I think.
yeah. And then y'all all went to the corner with guns. I stood back by Robert Taylor like, dang, I didn't know that's what we was doing. So I'm like, man, these brothers is wild. So y'all out on the corner with the guns and stuff. That's kind of like when I met you and I talked to you. You was like, man, you look familiar. Woot woot woot. And I was like, yeah. And so
I think
I
I
said,
seen you back in the neighborhood though, man. That's when I think I seen you back in the neighborhood though. That's what
probably so, because you was like, man, you look familiar. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. And so I was just sitting back listening to Robert Taylor, and y'all was like, we're gonna march and we're gonna drive. And I was like, can I get a ride? Because I didn't drive. I think I left my car in the apartments or something. So
right,
I hopped in with Robert Taylor. I didn't even know who he was. And we went down to the Williams Chicken. And we was walking, and I had to catch another ride on the back of a truck. And y'all did the whole little march. I was with y'all. I thought that was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? And it was something new for me. I had never protested before. I had never, a lot of intellectual thought and speaking. But as far as me taking action, I don't think I had never took action like that as far as doing something for the people, protesting or, doing a demonstration. That was my first time with Gorilla Mainframe. Uh, and I thought that was really cool. Uh, so that's like how I started being part of this movement. It's by just somebody telling me that there's some people like me and you need to show up. And so I was with it. And through that, I built a relationship with Brother Shout. Uh, and I built a little relationship with Brother Shout. And I think that something had happened. I don't know if he had moved out of town or something, but whatever happened, we ended up living together. Him and my father, we all stayed together in Box Springs. And Brother Shaw was doing the Alkaline Hour show, and I wanted to support the brother. He was doing something different. You know what I'm saying? And so I would help him do the shows at my house in Box Springs, and I thought that was really cool. I was still, still hustling, trying to do my thing. And one day he said he's like, I'm finna run for city council. And I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, man, I'm finna put a suit on. I'm finna go knock some doors. I was like, well, man, I ain't doing nothing. I go. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you know what? He had regular clothes on. And I was like, I go. And I went and put a suit on because I had been working for NPR. And I used to knock doors and do fundraising for them. I think it was like in 2016, 17, something like that. And I had got a lot of experience knocking doors and raising money. And I was really good at it. So I said, you know what? I was just knocking doors for NPR. You know what I'm saying? I was good at it. So come on, I put a suit on. I said, let's go. And that's when you seen me and Shout, and you knew me, but you didn't really know me. You was like, man, you know what? I'm finna get out here with y'all. And uh, and I gotta tell this story because this is, before CIVN. Even though I had tried to, I did some paperwork in 2009, but I never fully did anything. And so we just started the election thing. I know we had people recording us doing documentaries. I became the campaign manager. Uh, it was a really great thing. It was a really exciting time in Dallas. I think that's when Black ran for mayor. Is that
Right,
right?
right.
Right. It was a
Albert,
real
Albert Black.
right. Albert Black ran for mayor. That was a really exciting time in Dallas. Deep Ellum was really a political scene. I remember the sister got beat up. We was doing marches down there. They was allowing us to go to clubs and do events. They allowed us to do the Rock to Trap the Vote event where we had a show and people performed and Lee Merritt came out and talked, and we was doing some real interesting things in the city. Uh, and I think we got a lot of people's attention that year. It was a beautiful thing, but the election went through and we didn't win. And I remember us meeting and saying that this is a long run thing. You know, us, running is more to influence the people and what they're doing. Yeah, that's the sister that had got beat up by that dude in Deep Ellum, and then they did the march. That's what they had the march going. A lot of things. We had gotten to the skin with the skinheads down there one time. It was just a lot of different energies and things going on in Dallas. And I think that might have been, was it pre-COVID? I think
Yeah, it
it
was
was.
before COVID. Yeah, it's pre-COVID.
So that was pre-COVID, and the world was like really turning up, and COVID really slowed down like a revolution. People just really energies changed, and then even though after COVID, it was a lot of protesting after that too. But that was like pre-COVID what we was doing. A lot of protesting, a lot of uh, going up to City Hall, a lot of speaking. So it kind of turned me into the person I am today. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so after we lost, though, I had did all those things during the campaign that and all and everybody didn't approve of what we was doing. But we just went on and fought through it and did it anyway. And after we didn't win the campaign, we decided that we needed to make a change in District 8 because we felt like District 8 was one of those, Highland Hills really was one of those neighborhoods that needed some strong black brother influence role models in there to change. And we wanted to go in there and show the people that uh, men can stand up for their community, be role models, not trying to have sex with the women or selling drugs in the community. Just really being going in there and being a light. Uh, and we made a decision and said we're gonna do it. I called the manager, uh, uh, Kafir Kabara, and I just, in Highland Hills, he was the manager of Highland Park Apartments, which at the time, I believe these apartments had the highest murder rate in the city, and I think that was like the highest murder rate since 1992. And we figured like there was a teenager getting seemed like getting shot and killed in those apartments once a week, or maybe even twice a week. So we was like me, you, and Devontae said, "Man, let's go in there." Just three guys. We didn't really have a lot of support. We was a little too radical, even for the radicals, and so we didn't have a lot of support. So we was given an apartment. We moved in and we started doing community engagement, meaning that we engaged the community. We would do barbecues. We would feed the whole community. We would do, holiday events. We would try to be that supporting factor for the community that was missing because the financial opportunities was missing and other things that go on in America in these low income minority neighborhoods. And what we wanted to do was get to the root of the problem. And uh, and I'll get to commissary is very necessary because there's that happened after everything we did in Highland Hills in the Greens, and so we wanted to the affected community. We wanted to feed the community because we knew brothers was going around there hungry and maybe wanted to rob people. And we wanted to take that hunger pain away from them to come up so they could think about something else and maybe a different way to do things. And we had to come in and solve and figure out what the problem was. We first day we moved in, uh, there was a gang. Well, I won't say a gang, a group of young black men, mostly probably were teenagers, and they all had guns. Some of them had two guns, 100, 200 rounds. You remember Yafeuh, and uh, it could have been very intimidating, but I think I was more and I was like, it's a bunch of young black men on the corner with guns. They could really be revolutionaries if they educated themselves, on history, educated themselves on guns, and maybe we can lead them in the right direction of education. We weren't there to be the police or the FBI or detectives. We was there really to help them kids. You know what I'm saying? Because after we found out after the fact, most of them was runaways, and their mama was looking for them. They just found the place where they could go, where it's a bunch of vacant apartments, and where they could hide and get guns and rob and have sex with their little girlfriends. And not have to be home, not have to pay bills and stuff like that. And so it was like a safe haven for them. And so we didn't want to come in and kill anybody or hurt anybody. We was really coming in with love, honor, respect, and courage. And the people saw that. Whether we was doing armed patrols at night, going into vacant apartments, making sure that people weren't getting robbed and killed. And we didn't want these vacant apartments to be safe ways for people who was robbing people, grannies and mothers and stuff like that. And so we really wanted to just shut down the violent criminal activity in the apartment complex. Uh, we got shot at. A lot of crazy things happened, but overall, I think even after we left, we were successful in our efforts and what we put forward to do. Because I seen some of those kids go to college and graduate from college and be successful and be community activists themselves, who I would have thought would have did anything like that. And so, in the process of us doing all this and feeding the community all the time, people was in our ears about we need to start our own businesses. And so, Brother Shout had the Alkaline Hour, and uh, I wanted to I thought about commissary is very necessary. I remember one day a brother was like, "What's your business is? Y'all need to start a business." And I told him commissary is very necessary. He was like, "Man, that's a good one. You need to jump on that." So I went on and just jumped on it, and just kept doing what we was doing. Uh, I know we had to move out the apartment. You move, brother Shout had to find his way, and we all just uh, like I told Shaw, so we just gonna find our way and just meet back up with on the same frequency and the same mission. You know, long as we never give up, it's gonna happen. And so I went on and started commissary. It's very necessary. Uh, at the beginning, I think it was like me, Shaw, and Dewan, and you. And Talisa, everybody that was there. Uh, Olinka, Shanita was coming before then, Brady, whoever, you know what I'm saying? And, I just appreciate all them, whoever I didn't name, Tracy, it's more people. Uh, so we started just, uh, I took that organization
Six,
and I went, huh? Six. Oh yeah, six was coming.
six. I got came in.
Yeah, six was buying food if I needed it. He'd come and do this. He was very vital part of it. And so, you know, when I started commissary, it's very necessary. Uh, I think we started doing it in the pinks, just going to every apartment complex. Just, man, we're gonna do it in the pinks first, and we're gonna do it here. And we were just bringing resources together. People from the community was, buying food and donating stuff, uh, and it was a great thing. That's that picture of one night I wasn't there, and I think that might have been the first night Kentu and Brady came. I believe. Um, that was right after D Menace shot at us. A little bit after that. Well, no, that was right after we did the news article, right? Because that was the news
Uh,
article. I
uh,
forgot who came. Was it Rebecca Lopez or
that
something?
was that was before. That was before. This was before.
Right.
I said.
Oh,
I
okay.
said. I took this photo before. I'm the one who took the photo. That's why I'm not in the
Oh, okay.
picture.
I
Yeah. So
remember. Yeah, yeah.
I just so we took this photo one night, and when I was communicating with her, I sent her this photo because I felt like that was probably one of the best photos of people
Okay.
together.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember that. And when I started commissary is very necessary. Commissary is very necessary was more like just like like what we was doing in the greens, like we was even doing, like we would even go to the corner store and see if they was illegally taxing on untaxable products, and then shut the store down with armed shutdown. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
really doing things that the community is like, whoa, these guys ain't just, they're not trying to hurt us. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to protect us in all different type of ways and open our eyes and awaken us to different things. Uh, and giving out literature, letting them know what's untaxable. You know what I'm saying? Like we was really educating the community and protecting the community. Uh, and and a lot of people, they might say stuff about black on black crime, but like I think black on black crime was like when we first got in the greens, that was our first responsibility. Is to stop them from
Right.
robbing the grannies, robbing women, stop them from killing each other at dice games. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people say black on black crime just something, but like that was the first thing we had to fight. You playing some Too Short?
Hold on. I'm trying
You,
to make it.
you remind me of
Hold
Young
on.
Elder.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
got you.
Can you hear
I
me?
had to cut it out. It played
Oh,
on his
okay.
own. I hear you just fine. It played on his own.
Oh, yeah, I heard. I was like, what
I
is we
don't know
playing some
why,
Too Short?
but yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But it sounds like go ahead.
now, what was you about to say?
No, I was gonna say it sounds like just the details on how CIVN started, how you originally had the idea 2009, how everything came into fruition, and how we got
Right.
up until today, is a very, very beautiful story. Now, I know me and you have worked on a ton of things together, and right now we are working still in Highland Hills. I say that because we still in Highland Hills, and we working to rename College Park in honor of Fahim J. Minka, who was an awesome elder, and
Right.
that's one of the many things that we've kind of taken on and are leading now. I
Right.
guess my question to you now is uh, what would you like to see most in the community today in terms of what you've been organizing around?
I would like to see, and I've seen some of it. I've seen a lot of, I've seen organizations and people uh, doing things very similar to what we did, and a lot of people gave up because it ain't easy. But I've seen some people try. Uh, I would like to see more love in the community. People with more love for themselves, more love for their community, more love for the planet. Because it was plenty times where we had to clean up the whole apartment complex all the time because people would just throw trash everywhere, and that shows a lack of respect for yourself and your environment.
Right.
Um, and so, uh, I would like to see a better education process uh, for people in the community, because the school prepares you for work or a career. It doesn't really think it prepares you for life and the intricacies of life and things that uh, you have to come in contact with. So that's why whatever happens, I try to record everything and receipts and document everything for educational purposes so people can see what we've done and where we came from and the steps they took to do it, to encourage them to that, let them know they can do the same things we've done, but they can do more and better and greater things than we've done if they uh, have the courage and the heart to move in the right ways with the vision that has been given to them. And so, we just hope to be a light out here. Uh, CIVN, Gorilla Mainframe, us, the comrades, and other organizations and other brothers that work with us, uh, providing resources. But, we've evolved to not only provide resources, but provide opportunities. And so that's why you see me linking with Dallas College, uh, trying to get people to get more educated, uh, cause so they can, get a good uh, career and be in the workforce if that's what they want. And also they can start their own business and be an entrepreneur if that's what they want, and they could be successful on both ends. I think me and Brother Short showed them that uh, they can start businesses and be very successful. Uh, just keep doing it and push forward. They can do better things than me and I did and Brother Shout did and you've done. They can do greater things. If they just believe in themselves, have a courage in themselves and push themselves forward and love themselves and, have a lot of gratitude and agape love and understand that this is an experience and just accept this experience. It's not about, uh, taking a lot of things personal to where things are heavy on your heart. Some things you have to let go, like hate, and put love in your heart to be able to push forward and receive the blessings that are trying to be given to you that you deserve. This life you get what you deserve. So, uh, I believe people should put works out there, and what I mean by works, like really out there helping people, really changing people's lives, really being a blessing, really uplifting people's emotions. And, like Brother Shout, uplifting people health and educate people on health with the alkaline hour is very important. He did a great thing through the pandemic. It was probably his life saved, from his videos to, his store having the products needed right on deck instead of people having to order them and wait.
Straight up.
Right. And
Can you
organizations like
can you hear me?
yeah, and we
Okay, okay.
organizations like Community Movement
I got
Builders was there with through you, uh, and shout out to the Poor People's Campaign at the time. A lot of it, Linka was there at the time when she was part of the Poor People's Campaign. Uh, and the one when he was part of the Poor People's Campaign, even Ashley and Mariah was part of the Poor People's Campaign. I was too. Uh, all that just led to, what we dealing with today, whether it's organizing to get Lamar changed to Botham John, or it's us organizing to get College Park changed to Fahim Minka, or and a plethora of other things.
straight up, straight up, straight up. Well, we appreciate you so much for joining us today and really just kind of giving us just a snapshot, really, of the work that you have been involved in, that you've done, and that some of this we have worked together. So we appreciate you for your time. Any closing thoughts?
Any closing thoughts? Hey, my closing thought is, keep love in your heart. Keep your mind in heavenly places. This world, uh, this world wants to entrap you with pleasure. With your six senses, and everything. You can get caught up in that and trapped in that, and not never get to your purpose in life. Being caught up in pleasure and just living off your senses. We have a plethora of senses, way more senses uh, that you need to be tapping into. The only way you can really tap into it is you move in righteousness. And as you move in righteousness, you will have battles. Those battles will bring about a type of stress that will uh, bring out characteristics or gifts in your DNA that haven't been unlocked yet. And so, that's the key to unlocking a lot of your gifts is to move in righteousness. And when you move in righteousness, you will come in battles and you will move mountains. And in moving them mountains, you will find gifts that you never had. So, amen. Stay in love. Peace.
So you see the brother. I do want to mention the brother Paris LaShawn, who's actually from Denver.
Okay.
He's actually watching right now. He ran for mayor of Denver, I think a couple of times. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paris, brother. But he's ran a couple of times, and
Okay.
I know he trying to make some changes in Denver, and he really
Okay.
putting pressure on folks next in Denver. So, brother, we definitely do appreciate you for the work that you were doing in Denver, and much of that same work that you were doing in Denver, we've tried our best in where we from, Highland Hills, Dallas, Texas, to mirror some of that work. So we I'm sure we have some agreements, but for the most part, as I did mention it, I am Yafeuh Balogun. I consider myself to be a street reporter. If you guys can like, share, subscribe, I am on YouTube. If you look up Yafeuh Balogun, just like how I am, anywhere, Yafeuh Balogun, you know what I mean? I'll pop up and you'll see street reporter. If you guys can like, share, subscribe to my channel, I'm just a struggling organizer, that's been out here for a minute and have had the pleasure to work with folks like Marcus Russell. You know what I mean? Had the pleasure to meet a gentleman like this who has been nothing but more than courteous to folks like myself and has worked with the process. So I'm very appreciative of him, his wife, his family, for allowing him to be a part of the process. Other than that, that's essentially it. Like, share, subscribe. It's been Yafeuh Balogun, Street Reporter with Marcus Russell. We'll probably be back tomorrow again with something else. Peace.